with all this January 6th footage coming out, I want to talk about what we are seeing, what the significance of it is, but I also want to connect the scenes that we're seeing to the larger story of January 6th. In other words, the official story that we know is bogus. It's a fraud. It's propaganda. It is, even in the particles of truth that it's put out, it is surrounded by omissions, things that weren't shown. So you got a false picture. Even recently, Liz Cheney put out a kind of little mishmash of scenes of all kinds of clashes between the cops. And those did occur. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm simply saying that it's very easy to do that in any large event and create a false narrative. So it's similar to saying, for example, all right, I'm now going to prove that in India, the Hindus and the Muslims are always fighting. Now, they're not always fighting. Most of the time, India is a pretty peaceful country. But okay, here's an image of Hindus and Muslims exchanging blows. This is from 1948. And here's another image from 1962. And here's another image from 1981. And if that's all you saw, you'd be like, oh, the Hindus and Muslims are at each other's throats. Or even take another example. America is a racist society. And America's not a racist society. In fact, it's amazing how far the country has come in recent decades. But nevertheless, you could find particular episodes of people clashing and racist slogans being shouted out. It's a big country. It's not hard to find. And then if you thread them all together and you make a little ensemble for 90 seconds or 2 minutes and put it out there, well, it's not that that is untrue. It's just that it's unrepresentative. It's misleading. It doesn't give you the full picture of the event. So these are the lies that Adam Kinzinger, Liz Cheney are relentlessly committed to. And but they're lies with a very high cost, which I'm going to get into. Now, here is Scott Adams commenting on what he's seeing. The entire architecture of deceit is crumbling. Feel it. What he's saying is that a narrative, in order to succeed, has got to have a limited amount of facts. And when facts start coming out one after the other, facts that are indisputable, that you can see with your own eyes, that contradict the narrative begins to become shaky. And this is, by the way, I'm going to call it to some degree the 2000 Mules effect, because that's the effect that 2000 Mules had on the, quote, safest and most secure election in history narrative. You notice, by the way, that people don't even say that anymore, right? In other words, that was a piece of propaganda that, as long as it went unquestioned, it was sustained through mere repetition. But the moment people saw 2000 Mules, and the thing is, the truth of it is, you don't even need 2000 Mules to defeat that narrative. Because what do you need? All you need is to ask this question. If it's the safest and most secure election in history, where is the comparison of the volume of fraud in 2020 versus 2016, 2012, 2008, 2004, 2000, going all the way back? Who has done that comparison? Show it to me, proving that the amount of fraud in 2020 was the least. Now, not only has no one done that, not only is there no such demonstration, there has been no such attempt. No one has even tried to do that. So the idea that this is the safest, most secure is laughable on its face. But nevertheless, you put it alongside 2000 Mules and it becomes risible, it becomes absurd, it becomes ridiculous. And so the left realized, listen, we're going to still hold on to the fact that there wasn't enough fraud to overturn the election, but we kind of got to drop the stupidity of this being the most secure election ever. No one really ever says it anymore. So that's, I suppose, progress, but it certainly is puncturing a narrative. So now we come to the January 6th narrative, and my question is it really crumbling? Let's look at some of the scenes that we are seeing that are out there now on social media. One of them shows a guy who is evidently in handcuffs or restraints, and he comes up to the cops, and they take the restraints off, and then they kind of fist bump him, and they let him go. So the first question is, who is that guy? Is he, first of all, is he a normal Trump guy? Let's just say that he's a Trumpster. He comes in, evidently someone's put handcuffs on him. He goes up to the cops, and they're like, well, there are all these other guys around here. They're not handcuffed, so why should you be? And so it's like, listen, you're not a bad guy, or we'll take off your handcuffs, and you seem peaceful enough. You don't seem you need to be restrained. And this guy then joins the crowd. So if that's the case, what kind of insurrection are we dealing with? Just on that scene alone. Because after all, if the cops are there to prevent the insurrection, this guy is an insurrectionist, then you would think at the very least he should be in handcuffs, if not led away. But no, the cops don't seem flustered. They seem to let him go. Now, a second possibility is that he's not a Trumpster, and that he is a Fed. And he goes up to those guys and he goes, I'm a Fed, I've been planted with a Trump hat in the crowd. That alone is, again, interesting on its face, because it means that you've got people causing trouble who are disguised as Trumpsters, but they're actually Capitol Police officers, or they are from one or other police agency of the government. So whichever interpretation you incline to, you've got a very interesting situation. Debbie and I are on a great health journey, but we still struggle to eat enough fruits, veggies, and fiber, and those are a requirement. Now, lucky for us, we discovered Balance of Nature. What better way to get all your fruits and veggies plus fiber than with Balance of Nature? This is Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule, so easy to take. Made from fresh whole produce, the produce is powdered after an advanced vacuum cold process, which stabilizes the maximum nutrient content. And this is Balance of Nature's Fiber and Spice, a proprietary blend of fiber and 12 spices for overall and digestive health. Join Debbie and me. Start your journey to better health right now. Call 800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. You get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code AMERICA. Again, it's balanceofnature.com or call 800-246-8751. Get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code AMERICA.